as soon as this one's done. Here we go.
Yeah, and so what we see here is an uncaught third strike,
Yep.
and the rule is very clear about uncaught third strikes. In an uncaught third strike situation, both the fielder and the runner now have access to both bases. Okay? We're not flipping the access. We're not saying that the fielder now uses the colored base and the runner uses the white base. All we're doing is saying on any uncaught third strike situation, either player can use either base. What we would very likely see is when the uncaught third strike goes into foul territory, the first baseman will position themselves on the colored base in foul territory, and that would give access to the batter runner to then shift into fair territory,
Right.
taking the path of least resistance, right? But if we have an uncaught third strike that moves out into the front of home plate in fair territory, like first basemen have done forever, they're going to position themselves in fair territory to give their catcher an easy lane to make that throw. And that will allow the batter runner the runner's lane access to the colored base. And I do think it's important to note that even though we're giving the batter runner access to the white base, the runner's lane rule still applies.
Great
Okay.
point. Yep.
Still applies to every play we have. There will be some times that when the batter runner moves to avoid a collision, we're going to forgive them leaving that runner's lane. But the runner's lane rule still applies as it always has.
That's an outstanding point. And in these situations where the ball gets by, check swing, strike three, up on appeal, whatever, deflected baseball, pass ball, whatever, the runner's lane still applies as far as how we're judging it. So I'm glad that you talked about that because that's very important. We don't lose sight of that whatsoever. Okay. Looks like we're going to move on to playing.